Okay, good evening. I'd like to call to order this regular March 5th, 2024 council meeting. Please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the pledge of allegiance.
Let's pray. I just want to come right now and just, first of all, just take a deep breath. And just to invite you to be part of this meeting, Father. I also just want to ask us and say thank you for who you are. I want to say thank you for your grace, your compassion, your love, as well your forgiveness that you offer to each and every one of us who so choose to accept. And I just come to you now, Father, and asking that we will have the same heart set and mindset as you, that mindset, heart set of compassion, love, and forgiveness and understanding as we move on from this point within this meeting. Again, Father, we love you. We thank you in all things. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The verbal roll call of council members present for the record.
Councilmember Back.
Present.
Councilmember Joy.
Present.
Councilmember Locke.
Present.
Councilmember Perkins.
Present.
Councilmember Sexton.
Present.
Vice Mayor Atkins.
Present.
Mayor Nickerson.
Present. Minutes from February 20th meeting are still being prepared. We will have prepared for approval at our next meeting on March the 19th. Next on the agenda is old business. Anyone on council have old business?
We talked about business concerning the last minutes.
Sure.
Yes. Last time?
Yeah.
Look back up, yes. Be able to figure that.
I do have old business. My old business has to do with the resolutions from the February 20th council meeting, specifically 2024-04, 2025-24-05, and 2024-06. I wanted to ask, when was the Attorney General contacted?
Okay, I'll tell you that because of the ongoing investigation, I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
You can't tell me when he was
I
contacted?
cannot. Not at this time. I've been advised not to discuss anything pertaining to this investigation.
How about the state auditor? When was he contacted?
Same question.
When was the special counsel law firm contacted?
Same thing. It's all part of the investigation. I'm not at liberty to discuss it.
So you're not going to tell us how you came to the conclusions of what was in these resolutions? That
The investigation is ongoing, Mr. Jordan, and it will come out soon. But for right now, I'm unable to discuss anything with regard to the investigation. Anything.
So I'm going to submit these questions, and I want them added into the minutes because I want answers to them.
Okay.
And I'm just going to read through them because I think that it's very important that everyone knows what I'm actually asking. And I want to know when the Attorney General was contacted, the date and time. I want to know when the state auditor was contacted, date and time. I want to know when the special counsel law firm was contacted, date and time. I want to know when the interim manager was contacted, date and time. I want to know who initiated a communication with the law firm. I want to know who communicated with the interim manager. I want to know what the relationship is between the mayor, council members, and the law firm. I want to know if, I want to know what the relationship is between the law firm and the interim manager. I want to know, when the interim manager was appointed. I think I can ask that, and that should be not part of any of this, correct?
I'm gonna wait till we find out from our legal department as to the pending of the investigation. I wouldn't talk about anything pertaining to any of this.
You can't tell me when the interim manager was appointed?
No, sir, I would not. Yet the city manager can identify that if he wishes, but I've been told not to discuss anything that pertains to this investigation, anything.
Okay.
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Interim manager, can you tell me when he was appointed?
February 21st.
What time?
9 AM.
Okay. When was your contract signed?
That's dated February 21st.
Okay. When was the law firm contract signed? Do we know that?
I don't know that.
What account are we using to pay the law firm and the manager?
I'll have to let you know. I don't know off the top of my head.
I mean, it was approved, so, and it was signed, so there has to be an account that's associated with this. Is there not? Mr. Mayor?
It should be, yes. We'll have to get back to you. I don't know for sure on that.
So a contract was approved. Was the budget approved for this?
Let me explain to you something, Mr. Joy. Everything that you're talking about is referencing the investigation.
No, this is
Yes, it
referencing
is.
old business.
No, it's
We
referencing.
passed these,
Sir, you're out of order.
No, I'm not out of order.
You are out of order. Okay, everything that you're talking about pertains to the investigation, all right? I am not at liberty, and neither is anybody else, at liberty to discuss anything with regard to the investigation, okay? I'm sorry, that's how it's gonna be.
This is not part of the
It
investigation.
is part of it.
No, it isn't, because you entered.
Sir, I'm not gonna argue with you again about it. I'm not.
You entered
okay?
into this agreement here.
As part of the investigation. As part of the investigation. And I am not going to discuss it any further. I am not. I apologize. It's not gonna happen.
You're digging, you keep digging this hole.
Yeah, orders, please. If you do not maintain order, you will be escorted out of the room, okay? No talking in the back. If you signed on the list, you can approach the podium. You'll have 3 minutes to discuss your oath, okay? We will not have any outbursts in here tonight. You will be escorted out of this building.
So I'm gonna continue with my questions because I want these answered. I think the public need these answered.
I'll tell you what you do. You give me a list of your
No,
questions. it will be answered.
these need to be read because the people here have come here to listen.
Right, and I am telling you and the crowd and these citizens of this community that we are not at liberty to discuss it right now.
Well, I'm gonna read my questions then
You
because I think
can
that
go on with your questions, yes, please.
I want to see any correspondence between the mayor, council, and a law firm, whether that be telephone, text, email, or hard copy. I want to see correspondence between the law firm and the interim manager. I am curious as to how a contract with the interim manager was negotiated and signed between 8 p.m. on February 20th, when the resolution was passed, and now we know 9 a.m. I put 10 a.m., but on the 21st when he arrived at the office. I want to know how that negotiation was transpired overnight. I want to know who wrote the resolutions. I want to know when the resolutions were written. I want to know how the law firm, in this case, Mr. McNamee, was able to conduct official business at the council meeting before he was actually appointed. I want to know how the law firm was able to direct the mayor at the council meeting. I want to know if any other member of council, employees, or the community knew about the agreements. I want to know whether any of the other members of council, the employees, or the community knew about the resolutions. And I can wait on the rest. Oh, one other question. I'm wondering whether or not anybody on the council actually read the engagement letter with the law firm, specifically whether or not they realize that the rates are subject to change at the MLG's discretion. And whether or not they realize that they may obtain the assistance of other attorneys or paralegals in the firm, and when professional judgment indicates that it's necessary to do so. There's a lot of impropriety that I've seen, a lot of questionable actions here, and we need answers.
Can I have a copy of those questions?
Yes.
Okay, if I can get a copy of those, I'll make sure they get for, and we'll get answers for it. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
I don't know. Just doing our old business. Can I go ahead? As mayor, are you the one to contact the State Department of Ohio Auditor of State Special Investigation Unit? I know you ain't gonna answer, because I had down yes or no. In the village budget, improper use of funds, $200,000 in the red this year. It's only been like a month and a half. No money, no more money in our budget. Can I ask the village manager anything from them?
I will tell you that we are limited and we are not going to talk about this investigation. If it's part of the investigation, Mr. Perkins, we are not going to talk about it.
I just want to know if we got any money to run the village on. Can I ask that question? Yes or no?
Yes,
Quite a bit.
I mean, there's, a budget has been approved, yeah, there's money in the accounts.
Thank you. Because we're going to make some comment here. You and your office staff have proved falsification records that the police cruiser had been purchased without approval. Did you ask for these records, or did the staff just give them to you? Ask, well, can't ask the staff. Okay. I know. Now, what is the just cause? I have no idea. How much is the village taxpayers paying for the acting manager per day? And the village taxpayers paying him if he doesn't work a week for the village from Lebanon. Act of the manager, the acting manager should put on paper how much the group is being paid per day, work week, month, on expertise and new evidence. Report is what fund it is coming out of, what the fund is gonna come out of for transparency. That they have been paid, proof for the paperwork. Okay. Did the village lawyer see this paper on this ordinance, Bill 33, this will income tax provision? Yes or no?
We're gonna talk about that here in a minute.
Okay, got that idea. Okay. Comments? How are these 16 and 18-year-olds going to be told that they're going to have to pay taxes?
We discussed it in this resolution, that you should have gotten, everybody should have got a packet that explains how this tax system came about in July of 2023 through the state. It explains it.
The kids are going to be told how they got to pay it?
I don't know about that. I don't know how the
That's
kids
what
are
I
being
asked.
told.
How's the kids going to know that they got to pay taxes now? Who's going to tell them? Okay, again, well, that's, because you can't, about the proof of record because of the cruisers purchased without approval, who the staff person was. Okay, good. I know the gentleman next to me, Mike, is the acting manager. And the way I understand, I read that paper, would you want to hire a attorney out of that group? And also somebody to do the paperwork for the financing part, correct?
Yes, those are two resolutions on the agenda, yes.
You got any idea how much money they're gonna cost?
I do for the law director, don't for the finance.
How soon can you find out about finance?
As soon as if you authorize me to go forward, I will present that to you.
Because I know these people out here are gonna get it all taxpayers, it's gonna cost them a lot of money. I can't answer that question either because of what I was gonna ask, but if Mr. Back or Mr. Sexton, or Mrs. Atkins knew this was gonna happen before it happened.
I will answer that. No, I did not.
Thank you.
I'll answer that as well. No, I did not.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you. So one person. Okay, for the village manager. The first act we did was bring the paper coming over to about the tax, okay? Couldn't there be something else besides look at to help the village or got to run? You know, that's a good thing to bring up, because, you know, how's the village running?
I'm not trying to understand your question. What would you?
Bought that book about the tax, okay, and that's all I see. There's nothing about, but, you know, the street's gonna be repaired, somebody doing this, somebody doing that.
Yeah, so the reason I brought that for you is it has to be approved soon. It's something that came out with the budget bill last year and needs to be approved quickly. I can certainly give you an update at a future meeting of what projects will take place, et cetera. No problem.
What happens is that it doesn't get approved.
Then I guess we'll be in non-compliance with the state law.
Okay. And there we go. Okay, this is another one for you. I would like to take a tour of the courthouse, the fire department, grounds department, and the waste department. And as soon as you could make arrangements, because I believe you've got to be the one to show me, and anybody else that hasn't been there, we're going to, they can make arrangements too.
Absolutely.
And.
Mr. Perkins.
I got one more. who requested all the police at that last meeting and who paid for it?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Because of the investigation. It was requested, and that's as far as I'm gonna talk about it. Okay,
But I said, maybe, but who requested?
that's part of the ongoing investigation, I'm not gonna talk about that.
And I
Okay.
comment on something on Mr. Hawkins. Did you, when we toured the courthouse, did you actually get the email or the notification when we was doing that?
I don't do email.
What about the notification? Because we did it with Glenna.
Huh?
We toured the courthouse with Glenna.
I wasn't there.
Okay.
Perkins, anything else? So. You have something?
Yeah, I have a few things. Can we get a copy of the interim manager's position, contract?
Yes.
I know asked, I understand the ongoing investigation, so you're not gonna answer a lot, but he did ask who paid for it. Certainly we can answer that question. Is the village paying for that, or did somebody individually pay for it?
We're gonna hold off on discussing anything that pertains with this, we're gonna hold off, okay?
So the resolutions had on there appointed Nicole Atkins on the paperwork prior to us even getting the agendas. So Nicole, you are aware that those were pre-printed on those papers with your name?
No, I was actually out of town. I just got back late Monday night, so I had no clue what was going on.
I had a couple people reach out, and I get that you're gonna consider this whole business as well, asking for public records and are not getting their requests filled. Is there a reason why?
So as you can imagine, we're being inundated with public records requests, so we are to take them when they were submitted.
Okay,
Some of them are asking for quite a bit of records, some of which need to be redacted because it's
right.
personal information, so it's just taking a long time to wade through that information, so we're trying our best we can to get to them, and apologize it's taking longer than I expect, but we're doing the best we can.
May I say something, Mayor?
Are you done?
I'm sorry.
You can go
No, no, go
ahead.
ahead.
There's
I'll
a-
wait. Go ahead.
And I think that's it, because I think anything I ask at this point, you guys are just not discussing.
Ms. Hicks, did you have something?
Yes, I may. The public record request, I requested a public record, back in January and I still don't have it. So, going on, I don't know, week, 3, I think maybe we should give him some grace time because of the amount that he said was coming in. And as I know from the past, it takes longer than 3 weeks to get a public record request. Just saying.
A few more things. Can we get a copy and itemized charges so far for this special counsel that was voted in? I think the taxpayers need to see how much with no preparation prior to this was quickly voted on, and they need to know how much this is costing the village. Can we get that? Excuse me? Thank you. Sorry, did you hear that? I know there was,
I did hear you.
you did?
Yep.
Can you get that for me?
Yes.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. And then Mr. Beck, with you, sir.
Me,
Go ahead.
is this an investigation started this year, not last year?
It's an investigation.
So. Okay, at the last meeting, I know, because I've sat here and I listened to you. Nicole is a council lady, okay? You made her a clerk to take names. And she took the names as a clerk. And after that, she turned around and voted. If she was a clerk, she should not have been allowed to vote as a council lady because you made her a clerk, correct?
Okay, we needed somebody, right?
But is that legal? I'm asking him, is that legal or not?
I don't have an answer for you, I'm not an attorney.
I don't
I don't know either.
I don't think it's legal. I think that's illegal, but you can't make somebody a clerk, and it was on the paper, that was her name on it, that she was a clerk, and then turn around and she was able to vote as a council member. And if she wasn't able to vote, which I say she shouldn't have been, it should have been 3-3. Thank you, I'm done.
I just wanted to go back to what he was asking about the tour. Did you not get notified of the tour? When I believe it was me, Melissa, and Nicole, did you not get a notification of that?
I don't do computers, I don't do medicine, and I do not text. If I don't get a phone call, it was nice of him, because just yesterday, I think, what was it? I got a piece of paper and an envelope from him.
So you don't receive any.
But I ain't got no problem with that.
So you don't receive any of the emails or anything like that to get sent out to us?
As far as I'm concerned, because they can take a computer and throw through that window.
I understand that.
If you want for something for sure, my great granddaughter is in Miami, Oxford, Ohio, GPA 3.75. She's tried to set it up for me. I got 77, I guess, emails or something on there. It's sitting there. I don't know what.
No, that's fine. I just didn't know if you had been made aware of it. I figured that at the time, maybe the manager had reached out to everybody to see if anybody.
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
If you do, yes, I feel sorry for you. But you can take the computer and emails and keep them. That's why I like everything on paper.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Because I don't think this will involve. I know we can't answer who the account's from, but who is signing and paying bills for the village during this? Who's authorized and how that comes out?
So, Beth Bignell and I are signers on the accounts now for the village,
Okay,
so those are being paid, checks are being written.
so she was appointed.
She was.
Thank you.
is that it, no business? Okay, new business. Ordinance 2024-01, first reading. An ordinance amending portions of chapter 36 of the Village of New Lebanon codified ordinances titled income tax to comply with the changes enumerated in Ohio House Bill 33. By charter, this ordinance must be read on 3 different days. We will set the second reading of this ordinance for March 19th, 2024. Is there any questions with that?
You gonna do 3 readings?
We're,
Yes.
No, we're gonna try and pass it as one.
no, we're gonna do 3 readings. Yeah.
This is from that House bill, so this is actually everybody's voting on it, and it's on different city councils.
Correct.
Thank you.
Can we get new resolutions? I don't know about anybody else. Some of mine didn't have back copies of the second pages of the resolutions. I was just kind of in the order to make sure that we have the whole entire thing.
Likewise.
I have a couple packets of-
That would be great, thank you.
What? I think I y'all received, correct?
No, it's right here.
That's what I was saying. There you go.
I did.
His doesn't have a back line, sure, mine does.
You got 'em?
I got one, mine's on the back.
So we'll give everybody else they need.
Yeah, that's what I'm thank you.
Okay. Resolution 2024-07, a resolution authorizing the acting village manager to enter into a contract for EMS billing. No comments or questions addressing this resolution? Anybody have anything?
I do. Are we, I know that Chief Kaiser, went through this. Are we accepting his recommendation, on the, or what he believes is the best one to get?
That's what I'm recommending to you, yes. I believe it is the least expensive option that charges the least amount of percentage.
Okay, do you have anything to add, Chief?
So this is not unique to New Lebanon. Change Healthcare made the decision to cut several of their departments loose. I have met with other fire chiefs, some of the companies. I have talked to some of the companies via email, via phone. I can tell you the one thing I like about ABN besides the 5% is they, the one building company that was at 5.75 wanted us to find our own collection agency to use. ABN uses someone, I believe they're out of Columbus to do so. The one who charges 6%, we actually, or one who charges 6%, we actually didn't even get their contract back yesterday. I'm asking for that contract last Monday. ABN is local, they're out on Moraine. And they are they're a small family-owned billing company. And they told us they have no problem taking on the additional. They actually gave us 5%. I know that's who Farmersville Fire signed with as well. So after talking to several, and then they waived all the fees that they have were built in to the 5%. Some of the other companies may have waived their initial setup fees, but a lot of them carry extra fees on top of the percentage that they charge as well. So I'll stick with the recommendation that it's ABN.
And that is the company you're going to engage?
If you approve tonight, that is a company that is. Yes.
Is, ABM or whatever it is, do they charge a setup cost?
I'll defer to Chief Master.
Everything that I was told was in that 5%, so they're actually at like 4.79, and then their additional fees bring it to the 5%.
Because I know the other one didn't have a setup cost, that's why I'm asking. And this year, we're going, you know, good, is that gonna be permanent here? You know,
Is that the format you mean? Is that?
yeah,
Yeah, that'll be the format.
because there's a couple, it should be village acting manager, not village manager. And is this gonna be within the budget for 2024,
Yes,
money wise?
and they take it out of the billings that they charge for EMS service.
The way it works is you have to reconcile what we collect on a monthly basis, and then we pay them 5% of what we reconcile on a monthly basis. So the money comes to us. That's the way Change Healthcare was set up. They would send us basically an invoice saying, you owe us this much based on what they collected. So it's kind of, we get paid, then they get paid.
And then down at the last paragraph where it says village manager, should be acting manager. And, is somebody from the legal counsel who just,
Yes,
what was it?
so I engaged with, McNamee Law Group did the legislation for us this evening.
The group, lawyer, Brenda's,
Yes,
okay. Well, this is in the budget, but then, doesn't mess up the budget. I'm done.
Motion to adopt resolution 2024-07.
So moved.
Second.
Vice Mayor Atkins,
Yes.
Councilmember Beck,
Yes.
Councilmember Joy,
Yes.
Councilmember Locke,
Yes,
Councilmember Perkins,
Yes.
Councilmember Sexton,
Yes,
Mayor Nicholson.
Yes.
Okay.
7-0.
Resolution 2024-01, resolution authorizing the acting village manager to enter into a contract for temporary financial services. Council comments, questions addressing this resolution?
Has the investigation for the, been finished yet?
Is ongoing.
Um, what service are you looking to engage?
So we have an employee, Beth McNally, who's done a really good job of filling in where she can, but she's not familiar with all the systems in terms of the SSI system, the computer program. She's done a great job so far, but we need a financial person that can come in and balance the books, make sure that we make draws and the funds, that type of thing. We need somebody that can do that for us.
And this is authorizing you to enter into a contract that we don't even know who you're actually looking at, entering into a contract with.
So I didn't bring a contract to you because I didn't start looking for anyone. I wanted to make sure you guys were on board with that. I can bring the contract back to you once we find someone to do that work.
I mean, I would like to see who you're actually looking to enter into an agreement with before I'm willing to move forward with a contract, authorizing you to negotiate a contract.
That's a question.
Sure.
Priorly, haven't we normally just authorized the village manager to negotiate the contracts and before,
He's not our village manager.
but he's sitting in the place for ours
He's
until then.
he's an interim manager
I understand that.
until an investigation is finished.
So he's filling in for the spot that does the day-to-day basis of a village manager, correct? Correct. So then if I'm fine with you having an issue. I'm just wondering why it's never been an issue before. You know what I
Because it's
mean?
always been someone that has had a contract with us.
I understand that, but it was never an issue before with that. Now this person
He's not our manager.
he's an interim manager, I understand that, but he's taking care of the day-to-day basis of these things.
Yeah.
And I'm just asking why it was never brought up before his question, if it's generally the same guidelines.
It's not the same guidelines because he is an acting interim manager.
For the break of while ours is out, correct?
So
I'm just,
I want to know who he's actually entering into an agreement with.
and I understand that, but have you ever asked that from our prior manager?
I would have called her out.
I don't ever remember that, but anyways, I'm done with it.
So you,
I'm not, you're fine. I just want, and that's all I wanted. I just wanted to know if you'd ever prior before had questioned that thing,
Can I ask a
questions.
question?
I have. And whenever I have a question, I always call the municipal manager or the department head that actually was putting something forward.
If we don't authorize this, this will put the village at risk.
So, I think we'll put us behind, but I don't know we'll put us.
I also would like to, same thing, I think, I'd like to see a contract with here to be, go with how much it's gonna cost versus what we had and so forth. Before I would vote on the resolution.
So do we want to table this resolution for right now then?
Got a question?
Go ahead.
Who's paying for this person? The village people or with your group?
The village will pay for it.
That's what I thought.
And it's done that way for separation purposes. You wouldn't want me to pay for a finance person.
The group is getting an X amount of money, because and they're going, what, $1,000 or more? You know, again, how long you take to do an investigation, you look at, say, a month and a half, whether somebody's got proof of that, agreeing to be able to see it. And you have no idea, maybe you've seen it, I don't know, but it doesn't look good for me, look at not seeing something on paper.
I understand that. I don't.
That group out there, the village, already have part of the village. I got paid for another person, when this should have never happened. If it was me, because it seemed like somebody went to the regular manager and the clerk and say, hey, I got this problem, I want to see, can you explain this to me? And if your explanation is not good, then you go further, but this is look at, this is toward this village apart, I mean, but I was gonna bring my wife up there, but she was scared to just come up here. I'm done.
We don't, no.
Do we want to table this? Please come up with.
Yeah, that's what I should.
Okay. Let me go, ask for a motion to table this, resolution 2024-08. Motion there.
I did.
I'll second.
When are you gonna have an agreement for us?
I'll hope to have it at the next meeting.
So are we tabling this for 2 meetings so that we have a chance to evaluate?
I guess that's on the table. It's been only been.
You want to do that?
Yeah, I want time to evaluate
Good
it.
enough. You happy with that?
Yes.
Okay, that's what we'll do.
So good with people.
April, it'll be the April meeting. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
This one, April meeting, fair enough?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Perkins? Councilmember Perkins?
Yes, table this, sir.
Councilmember Back?
Yes.
Councilmember Locke?
Yes.
Councilmember Sexton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Atkins,
Yes.
Member Joy,
Yes.
Mayor Nicholson.
Yes.
The vote is 7 yeses, 0 no.
Resolution 2024-09, a resolution authorizing the Village of New Lebanon Council to appoint Michael P. McNamee of McNamee Law Group as interim law director and to approve the legal services agreement. Council comments or questions addressing this resolution?
Is there any other law firms that we could look into? My concern is this gentleman was part of the interim special counsel investigating. And then you're wanting to bring him as a law director. I'm concerned with conflict there.
So I understand your question, but I don't know if there's a conflict because in both cases, he's acting on behalf of the village. So there wouldn't necessarily be at odds with those two things. Yeah, certainly has familiarity with the village. He's written some legislation for us already. And I think it's, and there aren't many law firms out there that take on municipal clients like this, especially for the cost that we are, that he is seeking to.
We are still paying him ongoing correctly in this special investigation at that rate that's in that paperwork, correct?
That's correct.
And then we're gonna pay him that.
Right.
And these taxpayers pay for that.
Well, we need a law director regardless, whether it's him or anyone else, we'd still pay both of those fees.
I have a question.
Hold on a second.
Is the law director with your group?
No, he is not. I do not have a group. I'm on my own. He's not with my group.
Huh?
He's not with my group, no. He's separate and apart from me.
So how much is he going to be paid an hour?
As a law director, he will make the same amount as the former law director. For the law director, it's on
How much is that?
about $2,000 a month.
So,
Is the village paying for that, or was it
The village pays for that, yes.
Jesus Christ?
so I also have I'm with conflict here. If the current investigation isn't complete, I'm curious as to how he's going to be able to separate defending the community or defending the municipality as well as investigating alleged improprieties. But my main concern is the fact that you say that it's going to be $2,000 a month, and that's not what this agreement says. The agreement says that it's going to be for Michael McNamee and Nate Rose at $200 an hour, plus a paralegal rate of $80 an hour. And it also comes down to where he says that it is subject to change at their discretion. And that's just not proper. Why would we do that?
So I think, let me answer your conflict question first. I don't know, in my mind, again, I'm not an attorney, so take this for what it's worth. I don't know that there's a conflict because in both cases, the village is his client. He works for the betterment of the village in both cases, right? The investigation is on behalf of the village. As a law director, he'd work on behalf of the village. I don't see a conflict of interest there. But again, I'm not a legal scholar, but in my non-legal opinion, that's not a conflict. I also had a conversation with him after you received this legislation. We can modify the agreement to say that he will cap his hourly year's monthly fees at what we are currently paying.
So one of the things that you said when that Mr. Perkins asked was, who gave you legal advice on the resolution? And you said that it was Mr. McNamee. And in his scope of representation, it states that the only thing that he will be doing is handling legal consultation needs with respect to the investigation. So I'm curious as to how he was able to give you legal advice without that being part of his agreement.
So part of my purview as the interim acting village manager, whatever you want to call it, is to work with legal people to get legal opinions and get legal work done on behalf of the village. I use that discretion to have him do that work in the interim, knowing that we would bring this resolution before you to have him be our acting law director.
So you had already entered into negotiations with him to do this?
I wouldn't say negotiations, we had a conversation about it. He prepared this language and that's all, that's as far as it went.
Well, that sounds like you already entered into a negotiation.
Ultimately, the decision is yours. So no matter what I talk about, if you don't approve it, it doesn't happen.
Village manager, have you had other dealings with him prior to coming to this village?
So in my previous placement, he was the law director in our previous city. So I know the quality of his work.
How many other villages does he, or cities that he does law directing at?
I'm only familiar with two.
Okay,
I believe he does Inglewood and Fairmont.
okay.
Have you asked anyone else?
I
Or
have
just
not.
not? I see.
Time is of the essence, so
Yeah, but
realizing that his work is quality, and I have a good relationship with him, and he's already engaged with the village, it makes sense.
You a lawyer?
I'm not a lawyer.
So in other words, you can't handle those other duties until you find somebody else to do it, to pay them, correct?
What duties are the law duties? Yeah, I can't handle the law duties for the village.
What about the financial part?
So it's would be improper for me to do the finances and also the administration. That's not proper. You need a separation between the person that's doing the accounting, person that's running the organization.
Just answer my question way back about separations. Is there any reason why, no, I will answer your question.
Feel free, I have nothing to hide.
Why did you leave Fairport? Fairport?
You know, I've been there for 7 years. I had run my time there. I felt like it was time for change.
And you hooked up with the group?
I did not. So I was taking a break, doing some consulting work, and Mike asked me if I would be willing to do this, and I said, sure.
Yeah, that's my question.
I have a question. You were saying that, Mr. Joy, that you believe it would be ethics, and I believe Ms. Locke said it would be ethics. I don't think, and my question,
I said it would be a conflict.
Conflict,
I didn't say it was
so wouldn't that put him, if it was a conflict, couldn't that put him in a position to possibly lose his license if it was a conflict, something that he could lose his license for? And I mean, if he was willing to write up, not saying that it's like a done deal, like it was said, we vote on it, but I don't think any law firm would go into something knowing that if they did it, it would be a possibility of him losing law licenses over that. I can't see that. It's just my opinion on that. If my understanding is correct, I'm not a lawyer either, but I imagine that it was wrongdoing, that it could put him in a position to lose that, and I don't think any attorney anywhere would ever do that.
wrongdoing in the conflict of interest. They're two different things.
Conflict of interest, wrongdoing, whatever you want to put a name on it.
They're two different things.
Anything that would cause him to lose his license purposefully, I can't see anybody doing that purposely.
I suggest look at, call your attorney and ask him about that, and then that'll set your answer. Question.
Asking my attorney what?
if you're concerned about what the conflict that you talk about.
I don't need to talk to my attorney. I would think that any attorney that would be going into making an agreement wouldn't go into an agreement knowing the laws and be willing to possibly lose his license over that situation. That's what I said. That's where I'm at. I don't know what else to say. That's where I'm at. I can't see anybody wanting to lose their license and going into a possible agreement that could cost them their career. Right? I don't spell it out any clearer. Other than that, I'm done.
Yeah, I think looking at this, someone else, I mean, people have been coming here asking for transparency, and that's what this council said they wanted to do. You have somebody that's doing an investigation, and now you're turning around and asking them to do that. I think we owe it to this community to give that transparency, don't you?
No, the same I don't see us being.
With them doing investigating and then just sitting up here and there's two different things. I'm sorry,
I can hear.
okay.
Again, I think that in my mind, there's no conflict because in both cases, the village is his client. So as long as he's working on behalf of the village, there aren't even cross purposes there. It's the same purpose, just doing two different types of legal.
An investigation, and then this is separate, and we're paying him for 2 positions for this village.
Correct. Two different agreements.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. One more.
Who's doing the investigation? You or was,
I am not a part of the investigation, or I'm not done any part of that. It's all through.
Mike's group is doing the investigation, correct? So I know who's doing the investigation. Thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2024-06? Second.
One second.
Councilmember Sexton,
Yes.
Councilmember Back,
Yes.
Councilmember Perkins,
No.
Councilmember Joy,
No,
Councilmember Locke,
No.
Vice Mayor Atkins,
Yes.
Mayor Nickerson.
Yes.
There are 4 yes votes and 3 no votes. Motion passes.
Next is public comments or questions. We'll call your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes. 3 minutes to speak and be heard. Once your time is up, you'll be thanked. No additional time will be given, and no donation of time by others to others will be allowed. Darla Hens, 670 Homeway Drive.
Yes. We're being started with the other comments. It pertains to that.
Go ahead.
Is there a reason why we changed it from 10 to back to 3?
Because of ongoing what's going on,
You want to shorten
we're
it
gonna shorten it a little bit.
for a while?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Go ahead, Ms. Ed. I'm sorry.
My name is Darla Heads, 670 Homeway Drive. I had plenty that I wanted to say, but of course, the time has been shortened, and I've also heard many times that because of the investigation, most of my questions would not be answered. I do want to say, I read the Dayton Daily News article, and Attorney McNamee stated that ongoing operations are not within the scope of his responsibilities. His responsibilities are solely within the investigation. So, Mr. McNamee, what changed your mind? Remember, your job is solely within the investigation, and now you have chosen to be an interim law director. You are most certainly, now I know, being paid for both roles by us as taxpayers. To me, this is unethical and a way to pad your pockets. Mr. McNamee also stated that our council is ensuring that our residents are protected. I'm here to tell you that the only ones who's protecting us is Mr. Joy, Ms. Locke, and Mr. Perkins. The rest of you are in it for yourself, and that is obvious. So, what I would suggest to you, and this is only a suggestion, for the next meetings, you might want to get some more chairs so that the rest of these people can sit comfortably. Because I believe Ms. Bemis always encourages people to come and get involved, and now we are involved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
43 Hazelhurst.
Oh, thank you. Ms. Sexton, Ms. Atkins, Mr. Nickerson, Mr. Beck, thank you. I just want to say that. It is interesting that we are now worried about taxes, and we are now worried about where things are going to get paid from. We never have in the past. We bought police cars, we built a salt barn that I think is being used for salt, but now we're worried about $2,000 a month. Doesn't make sense. It's interesting how things are now concerned about getting the request, when many of us have requested things in the past, and it has been years since we've gotten them. Interesting how things are now interested in the cost of things. Y'all, you spend money like it's going out of style. I applaud our new interim manager for trying to get us back. Yes, you have to have the accounting and manager separate. That's like common sense. And it is also common sense that someone can't just go in and do that job as an accounting person. That poor person that's doing that job right now, I feel for them. They're trying to do their best. And instead of applauding that, you all have made it impossible for them to even sleep. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ms. Q. Tammy Joy, 35 Coleman Court.
Thank you. I am Tammy Joy and I do live at 35 Homer Court. On January 2nd of 2024, Mr. Nickerson, Mr. Back, and Ms. Sexton swore an oath to uphold the charter and the ordinances of the municipality of New Lebanon, as well as uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio. On the very first meeting, the new council members, Mr. Nickerson, Mr. Back, Ms. Sexton, as well as Ms. Atkins, all denied Ms. McMahon's request to be on board. Ms. McMahon is a former council member and a longstanding community leader and organizer of many community events. She is fully qualified to be on the board. On February 6th of 2024, Mr. Nickerson appointed the same person to 3 boards without asking any questions or reviewing any qualifications, and completely disregarded the other applicants. Then on February 2nd, completely disregarding the request of the longstanding members of the community, Mr. Doug Thompson and Brittany Cowell. On February 20th, Nam, how do you say the name? McNamee, took over our municipal council meeting, directing Mr. Nickerson in reading the resolution. Mr. Nickerson also informed everyone they were not allowed to speak or ask questions unless called upon, but wouldn't even look at anyone so they could speak. Shannon Bemis asked questions of Mr. Joy and Ms. Locke, and they weren't able to answer her. They had to sit there with their mouth closed. The new mayor and new members of council, as well as Ms. Atkins, immediately took the opportunity to potentially bankrupt New Lebanon. In addition, they have damaged the reputation of the municipal manager, Glenna Madden, legal counsel, Mr. Ronald Keener, the chief of police, Mr. Ernest Hensley, financial officer, Mr. Philip Henson, and service department superintendent, Mr. Scott Brock. Ms. Atkins stated that she wasn't able to vote on the previous minutes because she just got back from vacation, but was able to vote on resolutions that she had apparently never seen. Seems like a double standard to me. The municipality of New Lebanon is a managerial-led government. Mr. Nickerson recently stated to the press that he has instructed the employees of the village that they are not to speak to the press. Mr. Nickerson, you do not have that authority. That is a violation of their civil rights. Have you ever heard of the First Amendment? The freedom of speech. Our employees are entitled to speak whatever they would like, and you do not have any say in what they do. Mr. Rob Anderson,
how many employees have you sent home with pay, not including the municipal manager and 4 department heads?
2,
Why?
at the direction of special counsel.
Oh, really? And so now you all want me to sit up there. We sent home 2 more employees that are getting paid and they're not working. How long have they been off now?
I believe 2 weeks,
And when are you gonna send them back to work?
when the special counsel tells them I can.
And how do you see that they're a threat to this community and the investigation?
That's not for me to decide.
Really?
Yes.
Have you read our charter?
Yes.
Mr. Nickerson, have you read our charter?
I am, and I'll find a way, your time is up, but we're allowing you to answer one final, or give one final thought, please.
Well, you're damaging our community and dragging the employees through the mud. So much for transparency, and I believe you should resign. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sure. I got a question for you.
We're doing public comments right now.
Okay.
Tina Bell, 301 Oxford Street.
Hi there, everyone. I don't have a whole lot today. The one thing I do want to address is the parking. When I come in here for these meetings, granted, we have a lot more people here. But it would be nice if you had the back lot, open, like a half an hour at least before, prior. When I got here at quarter after, there were people circling looking for parking. So having that open and lit, so people can get back there and park, that would be great. And I just have to address the same thing that some of those are saying. Things have been going on for years. We have been watching these videos for 4 years of these meetings. Things have been asked for years and we have not gotten them. It is astounding that y'all are sitting up here and it's like you've been a little condescending in some of your answers to people. It's astounding that y'all are upset now and now what's being spent. When for years, we have had crappy roads, things are not getting done, answers are not getting met. And now you guys wanna throw a big scene about everything. Now remember, the same thing happening when a certain president came in and started taking control of the corruption. If there's corruption, it needs to be seen after, it needs to be taken care of. And if they find out that there isn't any corruption, then those people should have their jobs back. But until then, we are in the interim spot and it needs to be handled correctly and not questioned every single minute thing that you've never questioned in years. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Greg Roberts, 1080 Saladin.
I have a lot more to say, so I'll just make this short. First of all, most of the stuff that you, Mr. Mayor, said in the letter to the state auditor, most of that is false. You said in this letter that we're near broke, and we're not near broke. We have plenty of money in our funds, in our budgets. All of you up there have seen the reports. You voted on the reports in January, as a matter of fact, so you know what kind of money we have in our funds. There are reasons why some of our funds are negative, valid reasons why some of our funds are negative. To go off what was just said by another resident, you don't have the authority to tell the employees what to do. You didn't have the authority to suspend anybody in this village. Section 2.18 of our charter says the council or its committees shall in any manner take part in the discipline of or give orders to any subordinates and employees in the administrative service of the municipality. That is a responsibility of the manager. If you wanted to do that, what you needed to do is hire another interim manager and that person would do that. You didn't have any right to do that. I've spoken to several employees here in the village and they say there is a serious lack of morale within every department. And they're complaining of mistrust with the newly elected officials. These next comments are basically for the 4 people that voted on the resolutions at the last meeting. You need to, you council members and the mayor need to realize that you're the legislative branch of our government. We have a charter along with a manager form of government. That person runs the day-to-day operations in this village, not the council, and it's definitely not you, Mr. Mayor. It's pretty obvious and was stated in a couple of articles and news stories that basically, Mr. Mayor, you were fired by the manager and you and the council members are seeking retaliation. That wasn't brought up in your election, but it needs to be brought up now. You council members and the mayor, you don't represent yourselves. You don't represent the backs, you don't represent the parties, and most of all, you don't represent Shannon Bemis. You represent all 3,700 residents of New York. And I'll leave you with this, Mayor, you're not from the Lebanon, so you may need to look up his name, Craig Kelly.
Thank you. Pete Sexton, 180 Parkview Drive.
You can move to the next operator. Thank you.
Joshua Farley, 136 Bromwood, excuse me.
I didn't hear too much this got a little complicated in here tonight. I have not ever seen Tammy be held to ever conflict of interest when Ronald Peter was looking into you guys for my alleged ethics violation. You had no problem with that. You didn't see a conflict there, but you do see a conflict with this. As I recall, you're both on record stating that you did not read Glen's contract in full before you signed it.
That's incorrect.
That is not it. Well, I'll go back into the record and I'll state that. Also secondarily, you guys did the discussion of that in executive session, is that correct? Which is illegal. You guys cannot have discussions that discuss the actual contract behind closed doors. You have to do that inside. And since you guys all know this stuff, it's a shame that you guys act like you have ethics problems now when you commit ethics violations all the time at free whim. You just don't pay any regard to it when it's your deal. But when you're having somebody that you're friends with looked into potentially could have stole money, we don't know, right? Because there's an ongoing investigation, but we don't want to know if money's been stolen. All you care about is if what? We know you are out there, by the way.
Shannon Bemis, 130 Bromwood.
Okay, I don't want to speak prepared, which I'm obviously not going to get to. So let me first, the new municipal manager, interim manager, let me introduce you to the first woman, Darla Eds. Her son works in the service department and receives a salary in the fire department. That's your first one. The third woman, Tammy Joy, is married to him. Her daughter, also his daughter, works for the village of New Lebanon, who's on unpaid leave. Just to kind of like level out the playing fields here. So let's talk about ethics. And I'm gonna say, guess what, guys? How long have I been coming here for? Tammy, 2018. I've been the one person standing in this room. None of you, I've never seen any of you at a meeting, okay? I've been coming. Excuse me?
Order.
Okay.
Yeah, order.
Coming from the woman whose son receives 2 salaries. Okay, so I have financial reports. I have I'm sorry, can you pause my time to get control?
I'll ask you to leave if you can. Do not have order, please. You were allowed to speak freely without interruption. Allow her to do the same thing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Please.
So I've been coming up here, I do public records requests, time cards, I know the ins and outs, Mr. Joy. You have been yourself, I'm pretty knowledgeable about the happenings of the village, correct? Yes. So, for Tammy Locke and Gail Joy to all of a sudden sit here and question something, you have no idea what goes on in this town. Tammy, how much do we pay a month for them to clean the empty courthouse building? How much do you think they would pay somebody? Approximately, yes. High value.
right, because you don't know. So we want to put in an interim law director, right, that's not biased or connected, because that's all that any of you guys are on puppets, okay? $2,200 a month we spend to clean an empty courthouse that we knew was gonna be empty in 2019. What are the plans with it, 2024? What are the plans with it? Nothing, we have no plan, we have no plan. We've had a council that sits up here that has never questioned money, has never questioned a resolution, has never questioned a contract, who has voted yes, no, however, unanimously across the board, the good old boy system, right? So now you have the majority of New Lebanon residents that voted these people in for transparency. So you know what? If you have nothing to hide, what are you afraid of? Why are you questioning so much? Are you afraid of hiding something? Or are you just covering for your friend? I don't know. Because I will tell you right now, hypocrites. You
Me.
ashamed. I went and got signatures for you. For you. And talking about conflict of interest, I think that you, sir, should be removed while your daughter, an employee, is under investigation. That's a conflict of interest. Correct? I have so many notes, I don't even know where to start. For years, I think I'm going to write a book about this place. Talk about this little Appalachian mafia that we've got going on in this town. It's pathetic. And I appreciate council for looking into this, and if I'm amending, and if nothing comes out of it, you know what? Ask them all to resign, then they were wrong. Would you guys be interested in possibly resigning? If you find nothing, would you possibly consider resigning? I'll even leave the recall for it, but I guarantee you with what I know, and I'm not even a special investigator, I guarantee you shit's happening. And I warned you, I told you.
Say this. If everybody feels like we have done wrong for this community and absolutely nothing comes out of this, I will step down. I will. Because you know what? With what was brought forward and what was said by the attorney, if some people would go and listen to what he brought forth and listen to the meeting, it would be a constitutional violation not to have proceedings go further with what he stated. And that's all I say. If nothing at all comes forth, I will step down. But for people to wait, watch us waste plenty of money, potholes in this city for as long as I can remember, and I've lived here all my life. And all these people not complain about a darn thing until we get on council, and now everybody wants to show up and have something to say. Well, I'm happy you guys showed up. I'm very happy. And I do serve this community. I don't serve any individual in the community. I swore to the Constitution, and I take that very seriously. And just because some people have friends that are being questioned on an investigation that I didn't know anything about till it was put in front of me and had to decide on the best interest of the community, then to be mocked on Facebook about this stuff. Act like adults, you didn't say anything when people brought up things for years. So yes, if nothing comes forth, I will resign. Take that to the bank and cash that, because that's valuable. Yes.
Next is administrative staff comments.
Mayor, yeah. Can I request an executive session or an update, please,
What is your update?
on the personnel issues?
No, there must be a motion to go into an executive session.
May I have a motion? We ask for a motion, please.
A motion for an executive session?
Yep.
Yes. Well, we have both. Okay. Do I have a first? A second?
Second. Sure. Councilmember Locke,
Yes.
Councilmember Perkins,
Yes.
Councilmember Joy,
Yes.
Councilmember Sexton,
No.
Councilmember Back,
No.
Vice Mayor Atkins.
No.
Mayor,
No.
3 yeses, 4 noes, the motion fails.
Okay, next is administrative staff comments. Does anyone on council have anything for any of the administrative staff that's here? Fire chief, police chief,
Police chief.
I got nothing, so
I got one. Go ahead. What is that? There's a camera found on access road or something other. Anything about it?
I didn't personally deal with that.
Huh?
I didn't personally deal with that.
I can't do it.
He says he didn't personally deal with it.
Well, who's dealing with it? So you're supposed to find out who owns it.
If I'm not mistaken, Lieutenant Workman handled that.
Huh?
And he returned the camera to whoever owned it.
What, you returned it?
Lieutenant Workman did.
Okay. I just want to know if returned.
anything else, Mr. Perkins?
No?
Anybody have anything else for the fire chief or police chief? Municipal manager's comments? Any council members have anything for municipal manager?
Could I get a copy of his contract too?
Yes.
I would like once you get a copy of Mr. Joy's request, Ms. Locke's request, and a copy of the contracts, I would like to see that as well, please. Sure. Thank you.
I think we all would.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll send it all of you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Okay, anything else with that? Council member comments? Oh, I'm sorry, council member comments? Ms. Locke?
I just want to, kind of say a few things here based off of some of the, comments that were made. This is not a buddy system up here. I am none of these people's friends. I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. I don't hang out with these people. I don't go to their house. I was voted by over 540 people to come up here and do a job, and that's what I'm doing. So for you to group me in, none of these people up here are my friends at all. And I come up here with an open mind, and the things that are laid out in front of me is how I vote, and that's how I will continue to do.
Mr. Joy?
Yeah, I do have a few things. At one of the meetings, at the very beginning of the year, this Carol McMahon put in a request to be on several of the boards. And I just want to say that you have all, when you categorically just rejected her applications, you disrespected not only her, but several of the other organizations in this town. She has shown her commitment to this community. And through that, you disrespected the municipal library, the Dayton Municipal Library, the New Lebanon Library. She's organized and ran community events. She, is in the Rotary. They did a lot of things up at the park. She's in the Chamber of Commerce, and basically you just basically told everybody in the Chamber of Commerce and in the Rotary that you didn't respect her. You can say whatever you want about her stance as a council member. That's fine. I don't care. But the fact is that you just categorically just voted no for her to be on the park board, the tax board, or the personnel board. Then you turned around at another meeting, and there's 3 open seats one on the park board, one on the tax board, and one on the personnel appeals board. There was two people on the park board, Natasha Farley, who basically said that she has lived here for 7 years and she's involved with church. That's all she said. And the second person was Brittany Talley. And her comment, her application, she stated that she had lived here all her life. She's on the NOYA board. She's an NOYA coach. She started a middle school softball team. She assists with coaching cheer, volunteering with the New Lebanon Chamber of Commerce. She helped with fundraisers, events, headed annual craft shows that is now called the Christmas in the Village. She started the Little Miss and Mr. fundraiser for Dixie seniors. And she did all of these things while she was working at the school and at Farmers Merchants Bank. And basically you just said that none of that mattered. On the tax board, you know, there was Natasha Farley in an application for that. And what did she say that she wanted to do? She said she's lived here and she's involved in church. This is the same person that her spouse wants to abolish the charter that you guys have all gave an oath to support. She listed no qualifications. She listed no experience. She listed no education. And you didn't even ask her any of those things. Right? We don't even know if she actually knows how to do taxes. And then comes the Personnel Appeals Board. There was two people that requested to be on that board. One was Natasha Farley and the other was Doug Thompson. And again, there was nothing stated as to why she wanted to be on the Personnel Appeals Board or what experience she had. In this, I direct right to you, Mr. Nickerson, because you even said that, you know, I mean, Doug Thompson submitted a 3-page resume. He has 34 years of experience. He has a master's degree in public administration. And essentially you just said, I've never seen him at a meeting, so I'm not gonna appoint him. And what was actually funny there is because Mr. Thompson was on the board at the same time that was on the council at the same time as your wife. So if you had been here, you would have seen him. So that just strikes me as disrespectful to all three of those people. And you all said that there is no agenda, and we're seeing the agenda. I mean, this is the agenda. And if there is impropriety or mismanagement of funds, then yes, we need to know that. But the fact is, you could have done this so much easier without dragging the entire community through the mud. And I'm going to direct this right to you, Ms. Bemis, because you have said many times that you have been coming here since 2018. That means that at least 4 times you could have been on council and you haven't done it. Right. So my question is, why didn't you? And it doesn't matter what. You're right. It doesn't matter. But the fact is that if you knew that there was problems and you knew that how to fix them, all you had to do was get on council and do it. And the fact is that you have said over and over and over again, I got all this evidence, but you never gave any of it up. So
right, because they were threatening to lose their job.
There's whistleblower laws. So guess what?
The law director told me to apply to the village.
So anyway, that's what I had to say.
What about Melissa Saxon when she wanted to apply, but no, we got a family member of Glenna up here instead of her who comes every year. How did she feel when she asked us, it was my decision for answer? She wants a multi-million-dollar property on.
Speak so that we
Yeah,
so that we can all hear.
We're in,
Am I able to
Well,
do
no,
that?
if you trust me, I'd like to comment out.
Quick, very
we're in
quickly.
council member comments.
Like,
Well, you directly comment directly towards her. so-
Yes, I have been coming here for years. I chose not to run for council. You know that I'm passionate about this and holding our government accountable. And the thing is that there's so much dysfunction. I'm so sorry to bore you guys up here. There's so much dysfunction. Kara McMahon, you brought that up. Kara McMahon would sit here and turn her back when people were talking. She would pack her belongings before it was time to go, like pretending like people weren't there. So you know what? No, she probably doesn't have the personality or the characteristics for this board. Melissa Sexton applied for council positions, for board positions. You know what they simply said? We just picked, we don't have to. Hired appointed a council member, Glenna's cousin, over her, who's been coming to every single meeting.
That is
So you know what? So what? Does it hurt now? Are you guys butthurt? Is that what this is?
I have not let her.
Well, you know what? It seems like it, because you know what? This has been going on for years. I told you, we've spoken outside, have we not? And what did I tell you? People would get fired, people are being threatened that they're gonna be fired. Did I not tell you that?
And did you ever
Did I
have
tell you that?
anybody's name?
And
Did
did
you
I?
tell me anything that was going on? No, you didn't. So I don't know what you're saying. If it's hearsay, what you're saying is hearsay.
Okay. As a council member who has a fiduciary responsibility with my tax money, you approve, I see your financial reports you get in your council packet. I get them as well. If you're approving that financial report, you're ignorant. You cannot get a good financial grasp of what is going on in the report that you have been receiving. You can't. You have never asked for a contract to be reviewed or you approve it. You have never asked any of these questions. Now, because people are wanting to step up and do the right thing.
How do you
It may
know, how
cost
do you
us-
know that I haven't?
It may cost us a little bit of money. I'll agree with you on that, but you know what? We are wasting hundreds and thousands of dollars. Back to when you, sir, were paying George Marcus 2 full-time salaries when he was the municipal manager. And, oh, but I know, you didn't know. That was your answer. I didn't know. Well, I told you, didn't I? Right? There's tons of stuff. I don't say something if I don't know. You should know that by now. I don't have the money, the time, or the resources to sit here and pursue something on my own. I am just so thankful that we have council members up here who actually have the balls, just gonna say it that way, because they're getting a lot of heat from this. And they're getting heat from people that are either connected to a family member or a coworker, because there's nothing but nepotism and cronyism here. Because people don't know. So these people don't wanna come up here and say, oh, get more chairs. You know what? You have no idea what's been going on in this village. None. Because if you knew, you would be tucking your tail and being, oh, shoot, I gotta go. That's embarrassing. So there's your answer.
Mr. Beck, any comments?
No, that'd be it.
Mr. Perkins?
Mr. George said, but I'll also put, his first name was Doug, but I can't remember, but he was on the council. And when I was on the council, and look at what you said, but you didn't know him, and that's one of the reasons why you didn't want him on that board. You didn't know this gentleman until he come into the office. And look at, you voted for him. Thank you.
Vice Mayor, comment?
I just want to let everybody know, I did not move here to 2019. I do not know any of these guys personally since. The only person that I might have had contact with was Tim Batt because he cut my grass. And I was one that actually let him go from cutting my grass. So if he was my best friend or somebody, I think I would got rid of him for cutting grass. And for two, I've not been in anybody's house, and anybody that lives in this, that's in this building, I have not been in anyone's house or over to their house to their land on their property. The only time I've been outside, I went to a meeting with Melissa, and I didn't even go into her yard. I stayed in my car the whole time, Saturday. And we went to a meeting for city council in Columbus. That's the first time I've ever been at Melissa's. Shannon, I've never been to her house. I don't know where she lives. Natasha, Josh, never been to their house. Never been inside Tim's house. Never been over at Mr. Perkins, Gil's, Dave, or any, Tammy's. So for somebody to say I have a agenda or anything, no, I don't. The only thing I have is if there is something going on, then if they got the Ohio Attorney General and the state auditor involved, my thing is that they should be looked at. I'm not gonna stop something that is going on that is, they'll say that there's an investigation. If they think the investigation needs to be, so be it. If it comes back that there's nothing found, everybody's gonna be back at work. And that's what I hope in the long run, that comes out, that everybody's clear, they can come back to work. But until then, this investigation's gonna go on, and I had no say, I did not know what was going on, did not have a clue, and Miss Dolan, you could sit there and shake your head and act like I did, but I could tell you right now, under oath and on my kids' lives, I had no knowledge that this was going on. So you can act like I did, but I have no knowledge that this was going on when I came here last month. Thank you.
Real quick.
Who were the two people you fired, or you let go?
Haven't fired anyone.
But you said you let two people go,
No, they're on paid leave.
2 staff members,
2 staff members.
meaning 2 more. What was the reason?
It was at the direction of special counsel.
Huh?
It was at the direction of our special counsel regarding the investigation.
Nicole, I think what people are thinking, and I know you're frustrated, but at meetings, when we've had stuff to vote on, you guys state, oh, I can't vote on it, we need to postpone for the minutes because you just got them that day.
Okay,
But hold on, just give me 1 second. I think people are questioning because we all got that resolution right before the meeting. Didn't even have time to read it, but you guys voted on that.
I
So
asked
you
that,
understand how that looks.
but could I address that? On Glenna's contract, I asked if I could see both of them, and I asked to table it, and none of you guys did that. None of you guys would agree to table it,
Because
okay? And I just wanted time to be able to look at both contracts before I can make a decision.
did you have an issue?
Yes.
It was you voted for it, correct?
I voted no on that contract. At the meeting. Yeah,
I'm sorry,
So,
I'm hearing people.
I vote no on the contract because of the issue.
I'm
And
just-
I voted no if I have, like, the minutes, I did not see the minutes, I did not have it. And it's, but when you hear an attorney comes up and say they've seen enough evidence, and you hear that the Ohio State Attorney General is involved and the state auditor is involved, I am out. If they're involved, I am not gonna stay in anybody's way under an investigation. That's my duty. If they're gonna come in, I'm gonna let them do what they need to do. I'm out of it. I'm not gonna be involved in it. And that's why I voted the way I voted.
Is that it? All right, I don't have any more comments as the mayor. I have a motion to adjourn for this evening.
So moved. Second.
Councilmember Sexton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Atkins,
Yes.
Councilmember Perkins,
Yes.
Councilmember Back,
Yes.
Councilmember Joy,
Yes.
Councilmember Locke,
Yes.
Mayor Atkins.
Yes. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Who was here?